podcast. It's Black History Month. We know that. We're going to get into that here in just a moment. But before we do that, hi, there's 1,500 plus Teal family members. Can I give y'all all a big hug? Like, where is this growth coming from? Where are y'all coming from? If you're a new subscriber, comment down in the comment section and let me know how you found the Teal fam and why you want to be a part of it, because I would love to know. So honored to have you here, and it's gonna be a good time. Oop, my laptop's gonna turn off on me. But also, before we get into some more random facts about Black History Month, who's watching the Winter Olympics right now? Present. So I love anything competitive, right? And obviously the Olympics, whether it be summer or winter, are some of my favorite things to watch, you know? What is y'all's favorite things to watch in the Winter Olympics? I love like the luge. I love the snowboarding. I love the speed skiing with the little flags down the mountain. Figure skating. Shout out to Nathan Chin. Congratulations. And also, what was the American girl who snowboards who won? Is it Chloe? I don't want to say her last name wrong. Chloe Kim. If I got that incorrect, please let me know in the comments where her name is. But congratulations to her on her gold medal as well. And honestly, although I feel like most people think it's kind of boring, I love curling also. The precision, the patience you have to have, I personally find it kind of amazing. But yeah, if you're watching the Winter Olympics, let me know who you're going for, who you're rooting for, what your favorite events to watch are. I think it's a fun conversation topic. But anyways, so today I have my handy dandy MacBook here again, and we're going to be reading from a website by the name of Country Living, and this is called 22 Black History Facts that should be celebrated all year round, published by Corinne Sullivan, February 1st of this year. So as I kind of perused through the article, it appears that these facts are broken down by category. So let's start with the entertainment category. So first fact, in 1878, legendary soprano Marie Selika Williams became the first black musician to sing at the White House. After she performed for President Rutherford Hayes and First Lady Lucy Webb Hayes in the Green Room. That is very interesting. I have never heard of Marie, very sadly, but very surprised that in 1878, a woman of color was allowed to sing for the president in the White House. So that is very interesting and legend status. Let's see. Fact number 2. Born a slave, George Washington Johnson went on to become the first African American to make a commercial record after he was discovered as a street performer in 1890. Okay, right on. Why have I not heard of any of these people? That's bothersome. But I'm glad we are unearthing also an African American woman that is stellar, and we tip our hats to Hattie McDaniel. Okay. The next category is science. So fact number 1. Though he was born enslaved during the Civil War, George Washington Carver later studied botany as the first black student at Iowa State University and was responsible for creating over 300 products using the peanut, including dyes, plastics, and gasoline. We did go over that fact in our last video, so if you know, you know. I do not like peanuts, but that is not to diminish the amazing work that Mr. Carver did. Okay, fact number 2. After becoming the first African American and the first woman to graduate with a master's degree from the University of Hawaii, Alice Ball went on to invent the first successful treatment for Hansen's disease, otherwise known as leprosy, in 1916. It wasn't until years after her tragic death at the young age of 24 that Ball even got proper credit for her work. Okay, now that's crazy. 1, what was she doing in Hawaii? 2, died at 24, which is horrific, but also came up with a cure for leprosy before the age of 24. Her mind, incredible. I'm gonna have to read about her because I was not familiar with her, but her story sounds very intriguing, very intriguing. Fact number, I think this is 3. In 1956, Gladys West was hired as a mathematician by the U.S. Naval Proving Ground, and it was there that she invented an accurate model of the Earth, which was then used as the foundation for the creation of the Global Positioning System, the GPS. Okay, now these facts are these are hitting. Did y'all know this? Please tell me if y'all knew these facts, because these are incredible. What? Why have I never heard about any of these things? This is ridiculous. Fact number 4, I believe. After graduating from college at the age of 18, Katherine Johnson began working in aeronautics. I'm not exactly sure how to pronounce that. And following the formation of NASA, she performed the calculations that sent astronauts into orbit and eventually to the moon in 1969. There was somewhat recently a movie about that, right? I think there was. I haven't seen it, but I did know about that fact, which is incredible, absolutely incredible. These people were making cures, and they were sending people to space, and I whisper on camera. Good times. In 1987, Mae Jemison became the first African American woman to be admitted into NASA's astronaut training program. And just over 5 years later, in 1992, she flew into space aboard the Endeavour, becoming the first African American woman in space. Killing it, just killing it. These people are incredible. Okay, next category is athletics. During the 1904 Olympic Games in St. Louis, track and field athlete George Poage became the first African American to win an Olympic medal after earning a bronze medal in both the 220-yard and the 440-yard hurdles. Okay. When Jackie Robinson made his debut with the his career, Willie O'Ree will always be remembered as the National Hockey League's first black player, and he continues to fight for more diversity in the sport. I'm not going to pretend I know a ton about hockey, but I do know from what I've seen there are not a lot of people of color in hockey, which, needs to change. Because I'm sure there are a lot of amazing hockey players out there who, I'm gonna quit rambling and let's get to some more facts. So next is politics. Alright. African Americans held their first large-scale convention in Philadelphia in 1830, and the gathering, which marked the start of the National Negro Convention's movement, led to the formation of the American Society of Free Persons of Color. Bishop Richard Allen, who founded the American Methodist Episcopal Church, was made president of the society, and he worked to coordinate civil rights efforts locally. Very interesting. And that's like a long time ago, right? Okay. The final convention movement in 1864, presided over by black abolitionist Frederick Douglass, led to the founding of the National Equal Rights League, an organization that pushed for full political rights for black Americans as compensation for military service in the Revolutionary and Civil Wars. Sorry, y'all, having some trouble reading. Very interesting, though. I feel like I kind of knew that. Like, I couldn't write you a dissertation on it, but I've heard, Okay, in 1870, the Mississippi State Legislature sent Hiram rebels to fill a vacancy in the U.S. Senate during Reconstruction, making him the first African-American senator. Though rebels' terms in the Senate only lasted a year, he became an outspoken opponent of racial segregation and broke new ground for the African Americans in Congress. We love that, truly and sincerely. After working several years as a civil rights lawyer, Thurgood Marshall became the first African American to serve in the U.S. Supreme Court. He was officially nominated by President Lyndon B. Johnson in 1967, and he served as a justice until 1991. We did go over that fact in the last video. In 1968, Shirley Chisholm became the first African American woman to win a seat in Congress. 4 years later, she became the first black candidate for a major party nomination for the President of the United States. That's major, honestly. Okay. And it looks like this is the last section, which is arts and literature. So, back in 1859, Harriet Wilson published the autobiographical novel Our Nig, Sketches from the Life of a Free Black, making her the first African-American author to publish a novel. The novel was later lost for over 100 years until it was reprinted with a critical essay by Henry Louis Gates Jr. in 1983. We can't lose history like that. It's just, no, it's not right. It's not okay, but we are gonna make it anyway. Let me know if you got that reference. Known as the first African-American professional photographer, Gordon Parks was hired by Life magazine as their first black staff photographer in 1948 after publishing a photo essay on the life of a Harlem gang leader. He remained at the magazine for 2 decades, where he took photos of everyone from Muhammad Ali Pulitzer Prize in 1950 for her book Annie Allen, which chronicles the evolution of a young black girl into womanhood through poetry. I've heard of it. And the last fact: in addition to designing one of the most famous wedding dresses in history, the gown worn by Jacqueline Bouvier when she married John F. Kennedy, Jackie O is what I know her by, in 1953, Anne Lowe created a number of designs for high society women, earning a reputation as the first renowned African American fashion designer. Today, her work is exhibited at the Metropolitan Museum of Art. Now, that's very cool. Obviously, I did not know Jackie O's name. So, if you can let me know what the pronunciation is in the comments, and or I will go look it up as soon as I finish recording this, because that's embarrassing. But anyway, still fam, I hope you are all doing well. I just wanted to share a few more Black History Month facts, and these are equally as, educational for me as I hope they are for you. And yeah, I think this is where we will go ahead and wrap up. So until next time, I hope y'all are well, and I'll see you in the next video. Besos.